The first tip is obviously to have a phone with a high quality camera. So an HD camera. The iPhones have HD cameras, the Androids have HD cameras. Just make sure that your phone has a quality camera, and you can actually go into the settings and change up a little something to make sure that your HD is even better. So what I did was I went into settings and I scrolled down to camera and I changed it to shoot in 1080p at 60 frames per second. It was shooting at 30 frames per second, but I switched it to 60 frames per second just to bump up the quality a little bit. The second thing to do is to clean your lens, okay? You know, clean your lens off. Get all that grease, that makeup, that face lotion, all of that stuff gets caked up on our lenses, and a lot of times we forget to wipe it off. So just make sure that you wipe your lens off a little bit before you start. You know, get you a little lens cloth and wipe it off, wipe all that gunk off, because a clean lens is going to make a clean looking video. The third thing to do is figure out how you're going to mount your camera, or prop your camera up if we're being real. Because you have no equipment, I assume you don't have a tripod. So you will have to get real creative, boo, okay? You're gonna have to get you some books or a crate or a big old stack of something and prop your phone up on that. So that way, you know, you have a nice clear frame, and just make sure that there's not a whole lot of stuff in the background. I know I got a little bit of, don't pay down no mind, but make sure that the background is clear and you have a nice frame. A good thing to think about is the rule of thirds. So, you know, you might not want to be like dead center in the middle, but just a little bit off to the side. It makes it look a little bit more high quality. So if you want to kind of sit off to the side and be kind of in that upper third of the camera, you're good. Step number 4, always shoot horizontally. Never, ever, ever, okay? Don't you never do this. Shoot your video vertically. It is gonna create those disgusting black blocks on the side when you upload it to anything. The only place that vertical video thrives is somewhere like Instagram stories or Snapchat. But other than that, it's gonna create 2 big blocks, black blocks on the side of your video, and it just doesn't take up the full screen. It's the first indicator that you shot this with your phone and it looks very unprofessional. The 5th thing to do is to sit in front of some natural light. Sit in front of the window and actually pay attention to peak hours of the sun. So in the morning, I know that the sun is peaking at the back of my house, which is kind of where my office desk area is. So I personally don't like to record videos early in the morning because the sun is beaming down and it just washes out everything. So it's good to pay attention to the points of the day where the light is pretty neutral, it's kind of an overcast, or if it's not super sunny. Put your camera as close to the window as possible, which is why I wasn't sitting. Usually I sit back there because I have my ring light and the natural light coming in, but in this case I'm not using any equipment, so I'm literally right in front of the window. Another thing you can do when you're shooting with your phone in natural light is to adjust the exposure on your camera. Now this applies definitely for iPhones. I'm not sure if Androids have this feature, but if you just find that box where the video focuses and you scroll your finger up, you can change the amount of light and exposure and actually lock the exposure in so that when you move around, the exposure does not change. At one point it's like super light and then you move a centimeter over and then it gets really dark. You don't want that to happen. So you can lock in the exposure by just keeping your finger tapped on the box for a long time until it says AE lock. Step 6 is all about audio quality. Now, of course, you want to project your voice whenever you're doing a video, but we are not using a lavalier mic, a boom mic, any type of microphone. So we have to completely rely on the microphone of our camera. And thankfully, these new cameras have great microphones as well, so it's not really a compromise in audio, but you just want to make sure that you're really close to the camera. A lot of people want to shoot video, you know, have a nice setup and be back here. Oh shoot. have a nice setup, and they're all the way back here trying to talk to the video so you can see their whole cute little outfit. But the audio is, we're too far at this point. So make sure that you are up close and personal and we can hear you. You are within about 2 to 3 feet of the camera.